Script. You've seen this, right?
Yes.
The script. But I don't know that somebody could have written a better script for my man Andrew Whitworth. My colleague, Andrew Whitworth from Amazon Prime Video Thursday Night Football, who I've gotten to know quite well this season. This time last year, Andrew Whitworth was capping his long and distinguished career with the Super Bowl championship in his home stadium as he's being honored as the Walter Payton Man of the Year.
Against his former team.
Against his former team. Then goes fresh off the field into becoming a broadcasting superstar. Just doesn't miss a beat. And here he is with us now on Brother from Another. My brother, Andrew Whitworth. Talk about a script. That's the script right there. Has it sunk this last year? Like, now that you're back at the scene of the Super Bowl, you were going through it last year, I imagine it was a whirlwind. Has just this last year sunk in and how perfect an ending it was for you? And a new beginning, for that matter.
Yeah, I think it really took until right now in the last month for it to really soak in, because I went from all that happening and trying to figure out, man, what is going on? This is insane scenarios. Then to win it, everything that goes with winning a championship and everything after it, and then retiring, you have all these, like, you want to catch up with everyone and tell your thank yous and all these things. And then jumping right into, hey, I want to go be an analyst and be on TV and traveling and all that stuff. Yeah. So right now, this last month has been the first time I've actually sat still for a second and had a chance to think about it. So now it's a little bittersweet this week. The championship's over, right? It ends. On Sunday, there's a new Super Bowl champion.
I'm about to say, for now, though, you're still a champ.
Right. That's it. Still this week. I'm still walking around. Don't worry, the ring will come out at some point this week.
But Michael and I were having breakfast this morning, and he asked me, and a lot of people ask me about the Amazon crew, about you guys. And I go down the list all the time, and one of the things I said is that it's nothing like watching you, and especially the guys who recently retired. Tony is a little more removed, but especially you and Sherm and Fitz walking around the field pregame, and the amount of love and respect you guys receive from executives and coaches and contemporary players. It just really speaks to why you guys were able to be so successful for so long. Just the relationships that you guys built. So I don't really have a question. I just want to tell you that. I want to tell you how much it was fun to get to see the man behind the Man of the Year.
Yep. Yeah, I think that to me was really probably one of the parts I love the most this past season is that, talking about football and the game you love and all the X's and O's and what you think is going to happen is one thing, but being in the arena and seeing the coaches and the GMs and the front office people and then the fans and just being in that element and getting a chance to just appreciate the game for how big it is and just the entirety of it. And then also get to have those moments where you hug a GM or a coach who's like, man, I always believed in I remember, sharing a word with you at this different event or different time in your career. Those moments were really special. And I think just a cool way to retire and then still be involved in a way to get to see everybody and have some of those kind of goodbyes and hellos to, hey, this is new now what you're going to do, and I'm going to get to know you in this world. So I think that's been a lot of fun, and get to do it with two other guys who fresh off the field made it even more exciting.
And Mike, every time we'd have a meeting, we'd always have Whit give a speech. He would always speak last. Every meeting, assembly,
difficult question,
presentation.
Anything somebody didn't want to answer.
Close it down.
Hey, Whit, you talk about it. What?
He had to break us down every single time.
I wonder, though, hearing you say that about, retirement and just reaching out to people and, hey, thank you. People who reach out to you, you got to get them back. What was that like? How long did that take? I mean, I just think about your career. You had such a long career. Was it, hey, I got everybody back? Oh, I forgot about this coach. Let me reach out to him. Like, how long did that process take, and what was that process?
I think it's still ongoing. I mean, there's still people that you don't necessarily can't remember every little person along the way that oh man, there was a special moment I remember having with you early in my career or whatever when I met you, like certain guys. And so I think throughout my time really traveling this past season and even now being here this week, this is the first Super Bowl I've really attended as a player, not playing in one. I played in 2 Super Bowls, and other than that, I didn't come to them. I just always was like, man, I'm going to wait until I have a chance to play in them. And so just being around this week, even right now, being here, a day and a half, just seeing different guys, giving a hug, telling them, guys telling you, man, I appreciated your career. I appreciate what you did. I think Michael knows me well enough to know I'm not one of those guys that assumes people watched or cared or whatever. So it's been really cool to have some people that I look up to and always admired kind of reach out or take a chance to say, hey, man, I want 2 seconds to tell you what I thought about your career.
You said you didn't attend. Did you watch? And when you watched, and so as you watched, what went through your mind?
I think every time you get a chance to watch a Super Bowl, you put yourself in the moment and you dream about the chance you're going to have to be in it. And I think to me, that's why the greatest part of my Super Bowl story, that I'll continue to tell is really one about, I think it symbolizes a little bit to me of what's important to me, and that's who I am as a person and a man and as a leader, not just to my friends and the people I care about, to people I don't even know, and to my own children. Losing the Super Bowl after the 2018 season, I've shared this story before, walking off the field. I said what's up to Julian Edelman and Tom Brady and some of those guys, like, congrats, you're devastated. I didn't think if I'd ever play again after this moment. I'm walking off the field and I look up, I knew where my kids and my family were sitting, and Michael, my middle son, is in pure tears. He's my football lover, passionate about the game, and he's in tears. And I remember looking up at him, and in my devastated moment, worked my whole career to be here, smiling at him and being like, dude, you got to put a smile on your face. And I flexed my muscles at him. And I was like, flex your muscles back at me, because I knew it would make him smile. And so I kept doing it, and I had no idea. I told this story, for the NFL videos, and they actually had the video of me doing it. And so then we win the Super Bowl, and the first thing I did after we kneeled it and the clock was running out is I ran to the sideline. I looked up and I found him, and he was already standing, both arms flexed, smiling down at me. And to me, like, that was what it's all about. I mean, I said that after that Super Bowl in 18, people made it, I said we're all going to die one day, but it's about how you treat people, how you do things, how you carry yourself that matters to me the most, more than Super Bowl trophies. And that moment to me kind of felt like, man, that's it. Like, that is what it's about, man. It's about my kids and how they see me live and how see me struggle and see me have adversity and who I am in that moment. And I thought that was just such a great example and a great opportunity for me and Michael to share that.
How old is Michael now?
He's 10.
He's 10.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, this is all the time.
That's right. That's right. It's just
this is what we got all the time.
In the meeting, and then you're like, I don't know.
Sorry, let's go. Let's go have a good show. People like you who do the type of work that you do in the community and in the world to make this world a better place, you don't do it with recognition in mind. You're going to be a part of passing on the Man of the Year mantle as part of the Super Bowl pregame show, just as it was for you. We were standing there watching. I remember before we even started working together, I met you. We were at the Super Bowl last year, and you're on, what do they call a thing in SoFi, the monitor? I think
there's a lot of sponsoring. We can't get into that because somebody will be mad.
But we're watching, we're like, yo, how cool is that when it's just like you're standing there announcing it, it's like you're in uniform, it's the Super Bowl, it's your last game, and everybody's just cheering. It's like, wow, what a moment. But can you put into words what, because it's as prestigious, if not the most prestigious award that an NFL player can receive. Can you put into words what that honor means? You talked a lot about the championship, but the Man of the Year award, what that means to you, given the way you like to live your life.
I think what's really important, I had an opportunity to do a Rams event actually yesterday for some of their suite holders and ticket sales and stuff like that, and a lot of our community people were there. We were talking about it actually like a year ago. Here we all were at this event, and I thought was really cool last night, even seeing them get emotional again about it, is I thought, like, really you're a representation of what's important, and not necessarily just you as an individual. And so Molly Higgins and our Rams community team, like, it was the first thing that jumped out to me when I signed there in 2017, is that this wasn't about marketing. They truly cared, and it was really about how can we make differences in LA, because what will that lead to marketing? Will that lead to people being Rams fans? Sure, but more importantly, it's going to put people on their own feet, supporting themselves, and how can we do that together? And Molly and I just hit it off that way, and I would call her, we talked last night, like the first time I did Gray Street Elementary, I called her and I was like, listen, I just had an idea. One time in Cincinnati, I gave up bikes for Christmas. I want to show up to a random elementary school, pick something near SoFi, and let's go get 600-700 bikes. I don't care how many kids are there, let's just do it. And she literally went and got semi-trucks and everything else, and we filled these things up, showed up at Grace Elementary and gave out the bikes. But at the same time, it was crushing to sit down with the principal and the police in that area and then be like, hey, listen, this is awesome, you're doing this, but we don't even know if these kids can get home with these bikes. Like, somebody's going to take them probably. So we can't talk about it. Let's just keep it quiet. And I was like, man, that's exactly what I want to do in the first place. But it was also so disheartening. Like, man, all I want to do is do something to encourage them. Right? But to realize that's their world, right? That they're living in that moment. And so how can I get more involved? And I think that only inspired me to hey, this ain't a one-time thing. We're coming back. And 5 years later to stand up there as Walter Payton Man of the Year was really cool. But what was more cool is the 40-something charities that I was a part of. Not one thing, but just all the different ways I got a chance to be a part of that community throughout my career, and also in Cincinnati.
Basically.
Yeah, and so there's just a lot of people that represent what that award is to me, and it's a lot of emotions involved. And so that's what makes it so special to me, and what I'll really remember from it is all the people that are represented in that award.
That's awesome.
A lot of it is your heart. But who gave you a heart for it? Who gave you the guide, the push to do that? Can you go back to that first moment? Maybe somebody, maybe it was in your family or somebody in your career that made you say, oh, wait a minute, I could do more than this.
I think really not necessarily that she was a community servant. My grandmother was one and really involved in the community, but I really was not at the age when she was young enough where I could watch a lot of that. I got to hear about it a lot. But I think the greatest thing I realized from her is when I would go around, she lived in a different community than me, but when I would be in her city in Bastrop, Louisiana, or in my hometown in Monroe, Louisiana, or West Monroe, I would hear stories from kids. They'd be like, man, your grandmother, older people would come up to me like, your grandmother, man, I live down the street. Her door was always open. We all went in there. Every one of us thought we were her favorite kid in the neighborhood. Every one of her kids thought they were her favorite kid. And then all my cousins and friends, she had an ability to make every single one of us his cousins. We were like, oh, yeah, I was Mama's favorite. And we'd argue about it. And it's like, I realized like how special that was to be able to actually take the time to make each and every individual that meets you feel like they're really special to you and get a feeling from you that you truly care about them. And I think I took from her that ability to have empathy. There's a little bit easier to have sympathy. Like anybody can have sympathy for somebody. Like I feel sorry for you, they're having to go through that. But to see somebody go through something and go, man, I feel the pain and I want to stop it. I want to stop the pain you're going through and find a way for you to feel good. Not just so I can feel good, because I want you to feel good, and that'll make me feel good if you feel better. And so I think to me, that's really what it inspired me to do more of.
So we talked about the ride that it's been for you since you retired and you left on such a high note last year. How would you describe the last year for the Rams, whether Sean McVay in particular, Matthew Stafford in particular, because it's a pretty rocky road, and it looked like Sean wasn't going to be there after this past year. State of the Rams franchise in the last year since they won the Super Bowl.
Humbled. I mean, I think that, it was a humbling experience. Obviously, there's reasons, right? There's injuries. They're not playing as well as you did coming off of a Super Bowl. I mean, we saw Cincinnati start the season struggling, but they stayed healthy enough to get themselves back and going again. But the Rams really started from week one losing people, and it never stopped. And so I think, you look at them, I think they're humbled. I think that they sit back and go, hey, you know what? Success is awesome. It makes you confident. It makes you sometimes reach out and have more success than you've probably earned. But then when you lose, sometimes you reach too deep too, and you blame yourself for too many things. And so I think they're trying to find what it is that drives them, what's important to us, what are our values, our cultures. Well, let's get back to that and make sure that that's what we're about each and every week. And I think they're going to find that. They got some special guys in that locker room, and I would be crazy to think that Sean McVay and Matthew Stafford and those guys and Cooper Kupp and Aaron Donald and them, if they're back and they're all together, the special guys as they are, they'll find a way.
Special guy right here. We could talk to you all day. We got to let you go. You got a busy schedule. But before we do, can you tell us about what we got here this from Fisher-Price?
Yeah, this is the Little People's Super Bowl champion, 57 champion collector set right here. So you got the Eagles and Chiefs. And people can go to MattelCreations.com and buy whichever team they think is going to win the Super Bowl. It's $30. If you lose the game, you pick the wrong team, you get your money back.
Okay.
So it's only for the people that want to collect the winner. And you know what? I don't know. As analysts, we reach for everything. I think all of us are guessing at some point here or there because we're not in those locker rooms and we're not in those meetings. So it's a little bit of a hunch, sometimes some knowledge. But if it means anything to you, the Eagles fans right now are leading in pre-orders for Super Bowl championships with the Little People Super Bowl Champions collection for Super Bowl 57. So the Eagles right now, 64%, beating the Chiefs. So I don't know. I mean, who knows what you bet off of, but here's another thing to throw in there, all right? I don't know if it's analytics, but it's close.
We need some gift ideas, so thank you for that. Hey,
That's
man,
it, man.
Appreciate
y'all.
Good to see you, man.
Yep, thank y'all.
Thank you, Andrew. Good to see you
Andrew
again.
Whitworth, Man of the Year, and I'm telling you, real deal. I got to see it up close this year.
Hey, thank you for watching Brother from Another. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that now. Don't forget, you can catch us 3 to 4 weekdays on PeacockTV.com and on Sirius XM Channel 85.